Okay, so this is the weather today. And let's see if you can see how much water. But this is great weather to write in or to outline in. And that's what I'm doing. I'm outlining. So I'm going to have to kind of clip this together because I need to put the batteries in my camera and set it up on my tripod so I can kind of show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So, my process. I'll be back soon. I have the hero's journey outline. I have information that I printed off. I have information by Christopher Vogel. Information about from Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces. The stages of the hero's journey. And the myth. I have Mugging the Muse from Holly Lyle, Working with the Muse worksheets. And then I have a little bit of history about witchcraft in medieval Scotland. So this is where I start. And this is the heroine's journey adapted from Maureen Murdoch. Thought that was really good. So I start out my story with the prologue. And the prologue is very intense. So I thought the next step would be, in my first chapter, I need to show my main character in the very ordinary world, mundane, so that we understand that what is about to happen in her life, this call to adventure, is going to show a big difference between the old and the new. So this I will actually do notes on. So Okay, so I have a little bit, but no opening sentence. Nothing that would tell me that so what it said, most stories ultimately take us to a special world, a world that is new and alien to its hero. If you're going to tell a story about a fish out of his customary element, you first have to create a contrast by showing him in his mundane, ordinary world. In Witness, you see both the Amish boy and the police in their ordinary worlds before they are thrust into alien worlds. The farm boy into the city and the city cop into the unfamiliar countryside. In Star Wars, you see Luke Skywalker being bored to death as a farm boy before he tackles the universe. So, my main character's ordinary world, she comes from a long line of witches. And from what I have researched, people call that a hereditary witch. Some people call it a natural witch. For the sake of my novel, I'm going to call it a hereditary witch because she was born with some of these powers that are part of her line. She has precognition. She is a very powerful witch, but she is a witch who does not want to be a witch. She wants to be normal. She wants to be part of the mundane world. That's where I'm at with the ordinary world. She's a journalist. She debunks supernatural or paranormal occurrences, the hoaxes, that kind of thing. We're going to open up with her at work, and she's in a disagreement with her boss about a haunted house. She's claiming that it's a hoax, that it's not a real ghost, and he's like, well, how do you know? And she can't really tell him how she knows. She knows it's not a real ghost because the real ghost is telling her, you know, he doesn't bother anybody there, but that, you know, they're trying to make money. They want to be on a television show or written up in a book or the magazine that the main character writes for. So she can't really tell him how she knows. And she tries to ignore the ghosts. She sees them. They can talk to her. She hears them. She can talk to them. So part of the problem with the debunking of paranormal, supernatural occurrences or stories, hoaxes, that kind of thing, is that she pretty much 9 out of 10 times knows when something is fake or not. It's the real ones that really get her because as a witch, she knows that there are real ones out there, that not all paranormal, supernatural is a hoax. She knows that there are real, you know, things out there. So, in the middle of this disagreement with her boss, she gets a phone call. She gets a phone call from her brother. We learned that she hasn't lived in her hometown for almost 12 years, that she visits once a month. She visits her grandmother and her brother, some of her cousins. She visits once a month. She lives about an hour and a half away in the city there. She hasn't lived there since she left for college. Part of the reason she left is because her grandmother is the head of a coven that's based out of there, and her mother is also one of the teachers. She goes, her grandmother travels and helps train she helps train high priestesses to train others. She does a lot of training. She's written some books. Her grandmother is a big deal in the witchy community. And she doesn't want anything to do with it. She just, like I said, she just wants to be normal. And the reason that she wants to be normal and she doesn't want to have anything to do with witchy business is because her parents were killed by witch hunters, and she doesn't want anything to do with that world because to her it's just it's a ticket to to what she feels like is tragedy and problems, and she doesn't really want anything to do with it. She's afraid. And when her brother calls, her brother tells her that her grandmother has been murdered, and that he is quite positive that the person who murdered their grandmother was a witch, another witch. So now she has to go back home, and that's where I'm at right now. So if your story is coming together the way that it should come together, it should sort of follow, at least for me, since I'm doing this based on the hero's journey, it should follow these stages. The hero is encouraged by a wise old woman or man. It's the meeting with the mentor. In Jaws, it's the crusty Robert Shaw character who knows all about sharks, and that's one of my favorite classic cult kind of movies. I saw that movie originally in the theater in the 70s, and I am a huge Jaws fan. Like, sometimes it says the wise old man or woman is required to give the hero a swift kick in the pants to get the adventure going. And then, so outlining this way is all about the character for me. And I am really liking outlining with this. And I just started a class. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it starts this evening. I should get my first email today or tomorrow. I will be outlining using the hero's journey. For now, I am writing out summaries of what I think are situations for my main character for each of these stages of the hero's journey, and then I will go into more depth and detail throughout the e-class that I'm going to take for outlining with the hero's journey and using tarot to help do my story too. So I'm super excited. It's a lot of fun. I decided not to make the prep for this coming NaNoWriMo so horrendously boring and monotonous and just nothing but a bunch of books about plot and spreadsheets and beat sheets and things like that. So I'm making this fun. I do a lot better when I handwrite things and when I am excited and happy and I'm having fun with it. Writing is fun for me, but the outlining part's usually not so fun. So I'm hoping this will be a completely different take on it, and I will enjoy myself. And I will post probably a few videos a week about my process and how things are going, just check-ins and updates. And like I said before, if you are going to participate in NaNoWriMo, if you are prepping for NaNoWriMo, or if you have questions or suggestions or just want to say hello, give me a shout out below, make a comment. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And like my video, please. Whoa. If you did like my video, please. If you did like it, click the little like button. Thumbs up. See you soon.